You don't want to see my hands this week. So, got something I wanted to talk about for a little while now. The Shure SM57. It's a really tough bit of kit. I mean, Shure's gimmick was that they did military contracting for a while. So it's designed for just like ridiculous noise levels, like stuff that would liquefy a person. At certain frequencies anyway, you can capture with this with minimal distortion. So when my associate gave me this one that was in aesthetically perfect condition and completely dead, and he told me, yeah, this thing's fake, I was like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. So, I mean, this is not going to be a comprehensive video here, and I have definitely lost bits of this, and I spent like an hour futzing with it trying to coax any life out of it. No, there's none left. I just want to go through some of the basic detectable differences between the two. Starting with the nerdiest here, you can see that though the placement of everything is completely accurate on the fake one, the font does sometimes vary. Like there. It's bold there, not here. I mean, maybe that's nothing. Maybe these are drastically different eras. I don't know when this thing was made. It died pretty early on. It's presumably been sitting in a drawer for some time. But then beyond that, let's see, there used to be a grill here that matched the one here, but you'll see this one occasionally like a glint of gold behind it. It was just jet black on this one. Ignore the painter's tape, I did that. Then there's like some interesting other things. Like on this one, the real one, there's, I think behind this label, a clip, like a spring clip that holds it on. So I hate this, but like if you twist this, it doesn't do anything. It's just allowed to freely slide because it's like a spring clip. On this guy, it was just wood glued into position. Straight up, just wood glue. You know, high quality. High quality. Let's see. A really distinctive difference, at least with this specific era of fake. I always hate doing this. There's always a risk of damaging it when you do this. But yeah, you look down in there, that is a transformer. This microphone is electrically just 3 different coils of wire, and it uses a transformer as an impedance converter. You can see that it is potted in place with that wax or resin, a really efficient way to hold it in place and also suppress noise. Otherwise, this would be pretty microphonic and it would feed back continually. The fake one, there's going to be some hanging wires. Ignore those. I did that. That's just like a blob of hot glue on top. That's nothing. That's like it's just sort of squished in a good half tablespoon of hot glue. You know, that's got it. That'll do the same thing. Let's see. How tricky is it going to be to show the next bit? I think I will have to pause for a second and disassemble this further to show, I mean, possibly my favorite difference between the real one and the fake one. Hold on. So, on the left here, we have the actual Shure SM57. On the right here, we have the fake one. And there is a lot in common. You would have to take this apart substantially for this. It's more showing you, like, why you don't want the fake one. Because, like, if you look, just like if you unscrew it and just look down it, both of them have this rubber stopper that acts as a brace, and that last PC board on each side goes on like the bottom side of that stopper holding it in. Like it looks pretty similar, although the markings are pretty different. Then again, I would assume those change drastically year to year. Anyway, the difference is you can see here the calling card of the Shure SM57. This shiny bit here, you can just barely see rubber around. This is a pneumatic shock absorber. Basically a little tiny balloon that helps to isolate the transducer element from the rest of the microphone, reducing handling noise mostly, although also just environmental noise a bit, and probably has a bit of insulation to it. I don't know. This just has a length of threaded rod that you might be able to see just goes all the way down into a plastic backing on the transducer element. It's like taking it apart, it unscrews in the wrong place sometimes because it's just a pile of components threaded onto this random bit of threaded rod that can come undone anywhere along its length. There was a rubber element that went over here to try to make it look more like that, because, you know, a rubber element looks exactly like a metal element. Everyone would make that mistake. But I did for a while suspect there was an open in one of the original wires that came out of the transducer. They were each like 4 or 5 strands of copper, and I was like, well, maybe coincidentally all of them broke in one of them. But no, it's just actually dead. There's an open somewhere in there. I don't know. I want to make a pair of headphones out of these. Anyway, so yeah, it's this just lovely, like, the guy said that it sounded pretty good while it was working, so I don't doubt that this is a decent copy of the actual transducer in here. Maybe it is even the one, I don't know. But just the durability of it is terrible. The construction method is far worse even before the painter's tape was added. And just, I feel like that reduction of stage and handling noise is really, really significant to the Shure SM57 vibe. Having that taken out to save, I don't know, $20? I mean, it's mass produced like crazy. It just seems like it's really bad. I don't know. I mean, the end bits actually look pretty convincing. But yeah, I don't know if it's as big a problem now as it was whenever, which is the fake one, this one, whenever this one was made. But just buy, if you want one of these, just buy it from a reputable, like, person who claims to be a dealer, you know. If you buy something that looks an awful lot like this from somebody claiming to be a licensed Shure dealer, Shure will probably be in contact with them shortly to sue the crap out of them. Well, anyway, I thought that might be entertaining. This is definitely not a comprehensive guide in any way, but, you know, I figured it might be helpful to somebody. I'm gonna go ahead and put this one back together. That's the funny thing. This cheaper fake one is actually much harder to reassemble because there's so much more just like threading stuff into this rod in the proper order. Whereas this, like, you just pop this PC board out and it goes, and then you put it back on and thread it down, and it's fine. It's in there. Thank you for watching. I hope you have a wonderful evening, and don't take apart your microphones.